Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
For all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels.
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Leicester Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
Right, Chris.
Am I all right? Have you got over it yet? How are we all feeling? How the devil are we all? You know, we lose games. I get that, and I'm a bit calmer than I was last night. And yet, but I still want to sort of slap Harry Kane in the face. He's just got one of those faces, hasn't he? You know, and but it was the way that we lost the game. You know, it's like Jesus. There was like, Tillerman's pass that went straight to one of their players. Before that, one of the players, I'm not sure who it was, might have been. Well, I can't remember. It was on the left-hand side, could have taken the ball into the corner, didn't, brought it back. Oh. It's almost like, and I'm saying this with a great deal of pleasure, but Tottenham are the new Arsenal. If nothing pisses them off better than that. We couldn't beat Arsenal for years, could we? And, I thought Tottenham, it's almost a given. I've watched it back, and three of the goals were in off the post. That last goal, an inch the other way. And let's be honest with you, an inch matters to a lot of Tottenham fans. An inch the other way, and it would have come out. It would have hit the post and come out. But, oh, God. John, good evening. How the devil are you, sir? Hope you're well. I'm really not going to enjoy the next 40-odd minutes. I'm really not, because Simon, who's going to join us in a second, is a big Tottenham fan, and I hate him already. I used to like the guy, but I just can't. I can't do it anymore. He's dancing away in the green room. This is Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, it's not working on Twitter again. John Moss has managed to get into the system and set his gremlins free. So I can't show you the Twitter feed. So get over onto YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Catch Up on Spotify, Apple, Google, etc., well, thanks for listening. This is where you can find us.
Watch us on YouTube. Listen on your favorite podcast platform, or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow, and join in now.
You know what? We should just keep him in the green room. Just not talk to him all night. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? But it was Tottenham. They did come in. It was a rearranged game, and yeah, as always with Tottenham, we lost. And as always with Tottenham, Kane scored.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of the evening. 60 minutes of football fun and banter with Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV. Are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble.
Do you know how much I hate you right now? All I can say to you, Simon, all I can say to you is...
Oh, Chris.
I wasn't intended to use it for that, but yes. Look, I mean, welcome along. You're obviously happy. Before we start, because I'll probably forget at the end, I'll be in tears. Premier Hotspur TV, where can people find you and how can they find you?
Chris, firstly, thanks for having us on, matey. Yet again, another L for you.
I should have got more than one of these, shouldn't I? Then I could have really...
You can find me and Matt out on Premier Hotspur TV. We just do match previews and fans call-ins, guys, and transfer updates. That's all we do. We're just too busy to do everything else. So go over to Premier Hotspur TV, guys, on all platforms. But go over to Chris. Let's Till I Die. What a channel. What a guy. And it's great.
Thanks.
Great to be on here again, Chris.
It's all I can say to you. We have a banter, we have a laugh, and I was with Matt, your co-host. I didn't realise for the first couple of tweets who he was, and I might have been a bit off. But then I thought, but he did catch me straight after the game, which is never good. If you've lost, give people about half an hour to sort of get over it. And it wasn't even the fact that we lost, in fairness, because as I say, in that first half, you were the better team by far, and you weren't taking your chances. And I looked at it and I thought, this is going to be a game when Spurs, they could still be playing in a week's time and they won't score. And then we hit you on the break. We took our chance, and then obviously Kane came up and did what Kane always does against Leicester. But, on that first half, if we'd gone in 4-0 down, like, we did against Man City and lost the game, I'd feel happier, believe it or not.
Oh, Chris, seriously, mate. And the way we started it, very aggressive. We pressured you. We didn't let you come out your half, actually. You know what I mean? Was pressing you, and it was a really good start. And it was seriously, over time, Spurs have been the slow starters. You know what I mean? It's been taking us a long time to get a start, and maybe second half we wake up a bit. But last night we just I think probably the rest against Arsenal, and you guys had the rest as well against Burnley. Yeah. I mean, and I think, as you said there, if we had our shooting boots on last night, I think we'd have been 2 or 3 up. I think going into the break, but. It's, as you said, you've got to score goals to win games, and when you went in the second half, when you went 2-1 up, I went, it's going to be one of these games. Absolutely, we have. And I'd be fair, Chris. I think if you can say it as well, I think we had. I said the better chances. I think we dominated possession. I think as well.
Oh no, possession was actually 51 to you, 49 to us.
But at one stage, it was quite more.
I don't remember that bit.
At 94 minutes.
Yeah, that's typical. I mean, you did have 27 shots to our 14. I mean, most of them did end up with Mrs. Smith on Rosette. But, you were having the shots. And I say it's funny because Arsenal, we used to be like this, that we couldn't beat them whatever we did. We just couldn't get the win. And it's getting like that with Tottenham now. It's almost like, like when, you get Man City, you think, right, well, we're not going to win this. And it's almost getting like that with Tottenham now.
Oh, Chris, it's like a bogey team, mate. It really is, isn't it? But do you know what, right, Chris? Fair play to you, to Leicester. I mean, for getting that game on yesterday. Because you could have easily, sulked about it and come up with we've had one COVID case and rest of injuries, and have gone like what Arsenal did. I still think the Saints suspicious about that one. What they called off the
Yeah.
weekend. But fair play to you, mate. You had all them injuries, right, and people international duties, and you still gave it all, mate. Seriously, fair play to Leicester last night. Seriously, and do you know what? It just shows, Chris, that your strength and depth is very good as well, Chris. It is getting better. It's really
It's
good.
getting better. It's getting better, certainly. And when we saw the team that we were put out, I mean, we've had a couple off for COVID, but we had 5 players coming back. And if nothing else, we got James Justin back. And I know it's a very cliche thing to say, but it was like having a new signing. He's not played for us for 11 months, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So
that's a massive to have Justin back in it. Justin, I like him.
Yeah. He came on with second half after about 50 minutes, and he came through it, and that's all you can hope, And
what was that about, Chris? He gave it a couple of minutes, Rodgers, and he literally he changed it straight away in the second half.
I think Thomas, I'm not sure whether it picked up a strain or something, but I think the idea would always have, and I think Thomas was struggling, to be honest with you, against whoever was going down that wing for you. But I think it was always his intention to bring Justin on and give him some time. So, and it was great to see. But yeah, we've had one of those seasons, and I hate blaming injuries, but we have had one of those seasons. We've got Justin back, now we've got Castagna out. We our back four, we've not played the same back four for 2 games all season, I don't think. It's weird. It's been such a weird season. But you, like I say, in that first half, you came out all guns blazing.
Yeah, we did, absolutely, Chris. I said to you, we were very aggressive from the word go. And that's the first time in ages I've seen Tottenham do it. We normally are very slow starters, Chris, and we know it takes up to the end of the first half, maybe the second half, to wake up, get us in gear. Do you know what I mean? And it was pleasing. And Chris, it was from minute 1 to minute 90, mate. We went at it, mate, and we didn't stop. I think how's it going, pal? I think it was in the second half when Leicester did really come alive, Chris. You come out and you was a bit more. You was a bit more aggressive in yourself, Chris, coming at us in the second half.
We were in the start of the second half. We did, and that's been a bit of our problem. We can't seem to do it for 90 minutes. We have a good half first, whether it be first or second, and do nothing.
But the thing is, Chris, when you have them injuries, mate, you got like Fofana out, you got Vardy out, you got Ndidi out, in Inacho. These are big players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Massive players.
Daka's amazing. He's
never stops running, that guy, does he? He never stops
doesn't.
running.
And I was surprised. I mean, I had a disagreement last night with Brad, my co-host, why he was taken off. And I know we played Liverpool with Lookman, as the central of the 3 going forward. And I know Harvey Barnes. We've said, can he do that? And he did it quite well yesterday. But, we've got one striker, and that's Daka. And he was causing you problems with his speed, and we take him off. And if a player's causing problems, to my mind, you don't take them off. But that wasn't what cost us the game, I've got to be honest with you. And I did say last night, and I just at the start here, Harry Kane, I just want to smack him. When he plays for England, by the way, I love him. But when he's got a Spurs shirt on, I just want to slap his face. But I've got to give him credit. It wasn't long into the game, and I think it was Chowdhury went on a tackle on him in the box, and one of his first shots, and he was coming across the box from the left, and he could have easily gone down, and it would have been a penalty. And I have to be fair to him. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't. He stayed on his feet and had the shot. So I've got to be honest with you. Well done for that. Well done for that, Harry. No, I don't know. We look. I mean, you finally now, and I think it cost you a bit to get there, but you've now got a manager that knows what he's doing. I mean, this is the same squad. At last. I mean, we look and we all make mistakes with managers. We had Puel, and you had Mourinho, I mean, these managers that are sort of past it almost. Benitez at Everton, managers have the moments. The game moves on, and the managers don't always move with it. Mourinho, you got him to win trophies, and you got rid of him just before you were going for a trophy, which seems a bit strange, but there we go. But Nuno, he was like your 20th choice. It wasn't it wasn't who you really, really wanted. But Conte's come in with the same players, and it's going to be interesting to see where he can take you, because
he's still back into us.
Yes, he does. He does. You've got a lot of players there. You've got to say, will he either get them performing like Dele Alli, or will he just say, no, enough's enough, I can't do anything with you, and let them go? But the question is, will he get the backing?
That's the question, Chris. That's the question. Actually, do you know what? Before I come on here, I did listen to the Spurs Cheese Room channel with the caller, and they had Fabrizio Romano on today. And they did ask them the question right at the end, saying, with Tottenham at the minute, and we've heard a bit that they've had a meeting, Paratici, Conte and Daniel Levy, about transfers and all that. And they just wanted to know what's the relationship between them all. And Fab said it's all good. He said the relationship between all three of them, it's all good. He said, what I'm hearing, that it's all good. And he said it's just about patience, it's about... he said he believes that Conte will get backed. Maybe just 1 or 2 in this window, he said. But he said it's looking like the summer is going to be the big window. So I've always said it along, Chris, that he will get backed, Conte, but maybe in the summer, where with the biggest transfers, maybe 1 or 2 in this window.
I mean, the January window is always a bit of a funny one anyway, isn't it? Because you're not getting the players you want. We need a centre back desperately. If you want one, we've got a couple you can have, please. But if we buy another centre back and spend a lot of money, when he gets in the team, if everybody else is fit, we're going to have a team of centre backs. You've got to be careful. Your January signings are very much reactive rather than proactive.
Absolutely.
And, I think a lot of teams are looking at this season because it's a weird season. I mean, it's over at the top. Man City have got it. I think we can say that. Sorry, Ankit, but they have. And I went for Chelsea. I went for Chelsea at the start of the season. I thought Tuchel was going to do a better job with them, but no, they'll end up in the top 4, obviously. To me, the bottom's more interesting because it could be any one of 3 or between 3 and 5 or 6 that could go down. But it's a weird season. We can go away and we can be up against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, away from home, be up against them, let them slip again, and go out on penalties. We can then, with sort of half, the team being our youth players, we can host Liverpool, we can beat them 1-0. And, the number of clean sheets we've had, you can count on, one finger. And then we go and do a performance like that. It's just such a weird season, isn't it?
Absolutely, Chris. It's such a weird season. Seriously, it's going to be still tight. As you said, City. It looks like, Chris. It looks like it's not the end. I'll say, but City at the minute, mate, 13 points clear, something like that. It's a big margin and it's a big ask. I mean, they've got a fantastic squad. So, but the rest of it, Chris, I think Liverpool finish second. I think they will. I think they'll come good, Liverpool. And I think the 3rd and 4th is going to be up for it. Trust me, it's going to be out of Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal's going to be in there, United's going to be in the mix. And I still won't. Do you know what? Where are you in the league, Chris?
Well, I'm just getting the league up as we speak. I mean, this is the funny thing. We're 10th. This time last year, we were 3rd. And you look at this and go, we're having a bad season. What, are we going to write this season off? We've played 19 games. That's half the season. So we've therefore got half the season still to go. And look at last term, Liverpool were right down near where we were, and they came back up and snatched 4th place.
Yeah.
So it is all to play for, but like I say, it's just getting at some sort of consistency. But I think with Leicester as well, we have to accept the last 2 years, we have overperformed a little bit. We've punched above our weight a little bit, but we've not really had much competition for that fourth, fifth place. There's been the main four, and then there was like us and maybe West Ham last season. But this season, West Ham are still in there.
Oh, I forgot about West Ham as well. Yeah, because West Ham's in the mix still. Do you know what I mean? Don't write West Ham off as well.
Yeah. So you got them. You've come back this season. You weren't sort of any good last. No disrespect. You weren't. No. You weren't there last season. Arsenal certainly weren't, and then they've come back. So you've got more teams now going for that fourth, fifth position that we basically were making our own, and so we can't sort of. We've got to accept what it is.
With Leicester, if you can get these players back quick and the players back on international quick and get going again and get most of your first team back, I don't think there's no reason why Leicester can push for the top 5 again. You know what I mean? I mean, so
if you look at it and go to the start of the season, we wouldn't have gone this far without the players that we've got. Had we had a fully fit squad, and like I say, I hate blaming injuries, but if we had, we'd be a lot better off than we are now. And the problem is that when your players come back, like James Justin, that was such a big plus yesterday, him coming back. Excuse me. But it's going to take him a few games to get up and going, back to his speed. You can't just, we saw that with Maddison. After he came back, it took him ages to get his mojo back.
What do you think? Actually, just quickly on Maddison, Chris. They gave Maddison man of the match last night. To me personally, I think he done all right. But I don't... Okay, they gave it to the Leicester player because they thought Leicester was going to win. But obviously Tottenham nicked it right
at that point. We were 2-1 up, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. They gave it in the 85th minute, Maddison man of the match, because you was 2-1 up. To me, I don't think he was the best player on the pitch last night. I think he was making your midfield click, but I don't think he was the best player on the pitch last night.
That for me goes to all the matches, Alan Bennett, and he gives me a man of the match straight after, and he went for Kieran Dewsbury Hall.
He was good last night. Yeah, he was good last night.
It was one of those. Like I say, I think if it had finished 2-2 and the man of the match could have gone either way, that would have been it. But just going back and say to the table, I mean, you're sat up there in 5th now. You're only 1 point off West Ham, and you've got 2 games in hand on them. And this is it with the table. Everyone's got games in hand. It's not a proper table, Chris, when you look at it.
I think we're 5 points behind Chelsea with 4 games in hand over Chelsea.
You are indeed. Oh no, hang on. You are for 8 points behind Chelsea.
Oh, sorry, 8.
Yeah. But you have got 4 games in hand of them. It's weird, isn't it? That's the thing. When you look at the table, it means nothing really at the moment. Absolutely. The table. The thing is,
Chris, it's all right with the games in hand, but you got to win them, and And I'd rather have the points on the board, me personally.
I think most definitely would. I mean, that was one of our games in hand last night, and obviously we've blown that, but. You do get a bit of doom and gloom, and that's the problem with fans, because we've had 2 really good seasons, and we're thinking like, this is going to be us every season. It's not. It's a bit of a reality check, but still got 19 games to go. We've still got half the season to play.
But the thing is, Chris, what I liked about Spurs as well, like other teams, if they were scored late on to make it 2-2, they would just gone to the fans, and so we just snatched the ball, gone straight to the halfway line, and they wanted that win. They sniffed it. They could have got a winner here, and they did. That's what I was so impressive with how Bergwijn and Kane just wanted that ball straight off Schmeichel and get that back ball up the field. And because other teams, I've seen Arsenal do it against Palace when they scored late on, and they celebrated for about 2 minutes. You know what I mean, like they won the Champions League. I mean, instead of like wanting to go and.
Now, that was as good as they're going to get, though, isn't it? In Arsenal, let's be fair. But no, it's true, and at that point, you were sort of on the up, and we've our players have gone. So if you can get that ball, then and get us while we're down, as they say. I mean, Ankit there says, has Daka secured his position? He hasn't, unfortunately. I mean, Vardy's out for 8 weeks, so he's going to have at least another 7 weeks worth of games. So I think Inacho, unfortunately, will be down to third. But when Vardy's fit, unfortunately, Vardy gets picked.
All
Terry,
day
good
long,
evening. How the devil are you? The only good thing about last night is Spurs went above the Gooners. I got asked the other day, you know Nippon, don't you? You know, Nippon asked me. Yeah. He said on the show, he said, who do you hate more, Spurs, Arsenal or Chelsea? Because we have a bit of fun when we do the prediction go with Steve Lynix, our ex-player. He hates Spurs and Arsenal. He can't stand you. And he wouldn't even predict a draw for you this last weekend on the prediction show. He said, I'm just not going there at all. and I must admit, I did say Arsenal that I hated, but last night I'm afraid Spurs were well up there.
More like Harry Kane. He's
no, just the whole thing. I mean, you know, we won't mention your fans spitting at the stewards or anything like that. But I mean, you know, and I say, forgive me because I'm getting old and I forget who did it and who didn't. But isn't it Bergwijn who pushed Soyuncu over?
Yeah, but he got booked for it. He got booked for it, Chris. He did get booked. He got. Although if it was a sending off, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. I always look at these decisions and go, if it was the other way round, would I be shouting for it? You know. And when I looked at that, I mean, Soyuncu wound him up. Yeah,
because he was obviously telling him to get up. Why leave him down there? It would have taken the time up, you know. But it was accusing him of diving because I think he was trying to get the penalty.
I think overreacting in the dive there.
But the way he pushed Soyuncu went down like a bag of spuds. No pun intended. You know, you know. I mean, it was the worst acting you've ever seen. It really was. And
terrible, wasn't it? That was terrible.
Yeah. And honestly, if you got him sent off at that point, would it have made any difference? I don't think so. You know, it's that late in the game. I mean, you've actually, this is what annoys me because, yes, you got the 3 points. You've got to remember, though, it isn't a trophy. It's only sweet. You still haven't got one of those, you know. So
we will do.
You got the 3 points, but no trophy.
Time's on our side yet, Chris.
Well, yeah, you do. It was Fergie time last night for you, wasn't it? It was 7 minutes. But you've now got a record. Tottenham beat Leicester despite trailing after 94 minutes and 52 seconds. Overtaking Manchester City's 3-2 win over QPR in May 2012 when they were losing at 91 minutes and 14 seconds. You are now the team that has won a match being behind the latest in the game.
Another record. We love breaking records, this club.
Well, like I say, do you want a record or do you want a trophy, mate? Since Leicester returned to the Premier League in 2014, their 15 meetings with Tottenham have produced 59 goals. I think most of those have gone to you. Arsenal versus Liverpool, 62 goals, is the only fixture to have seen more goals. It's funny because when you look at the stats overall, we're pretty equal. I think we've won 5, you've won 6, obviously 7 now. But I think we got quite a few of our wins and we played better against you when we were up under O'Neill, you know, in the late 90s sort of thing. And I think since we come back in 15, you do seem to have this witch thing over us. We can't beat you.
Do you know what? I remember some of them games when you had Muzzy Izzet and all that. Yeah. Muzzy Izzet was a quality player. I love Muzzy Izzet. What a player he was. He
was.
That goal, was it that goal against Chelsea? Yeah, that won the goal.
He did a pretty good overhead kick against Grimsby as well.
He is a player. But back then, I think you had quite a good team. You had Guppy in it. You had
no, we did. I think that's when we were doing better than you. But I think you've done better than us since we've come up. Terry says his family in Kent are Spurs. Yeah, Terry says his family in Kent are Spurs fans. I was brought up with the song Tottenham, Tottenham, no one can stop them. That was 50 years ago and it still haunts me. I don't know if Tottenham, no one can stop them is the best line ever from a Tottenham song. For me, it's more like Ozzy's on the way to Wembley. His knees have gone all trembly. I think the least said about your cup goals, your cup songs, the better, you know. But I want to say that. What can you hope for this season? Like you say, you know, you might buy a few players, you might let a few players go in January. Do you think you can get top 4, or is that, you know, maybe next season?
Well, let's put it this way, Chris. I mean, let's go back to the league as it is at the minute. We are like, as you said, we are like 1 point behind West Ham with 2 games in hand, 8 behind Chelsea with 4 games in hand. So that top 4 is definitely on, definitely 100% on. If any Tottenham fan says we're not in that race, it's absolutely give your head a wobble. Seriously, we're definitely in this race for top 4. I do believe that Conte will get back in his transfer window. Nothing massive, Chris. Maybe just one, maybe a Dharma Traore. I think that's the deal. Will go down to deadline. I think that'll go all the way. But apart from that, maybe one more. But apart from that, we have got Son coming back, Romero coming back. We've got Dyer coming back. So we have got 3 very key first teamers coming back as well. Keep them all fit all season. I think we can do it, mate. I really think we can do it. Maybe like go on a nice FA Cup run as well. I mean, we haven't got the European football no more. I mean, we got.
No, you have. What happened to you in that? What happened to you in that? Oh, you got.
It was a fast.
Team you've never heard of. We got chucked out.
That was a fast because we had some serious COVID. We had about 10, 11 players down with COVID at that time, and we did say once we had players back, we will go to France and play Rennes in France at their grounds. We actually offered it. They got rejected. You know what I mean? And after all what happened, they docked us the game and gave the points to Rennes, and absolutely fast that. I mean, look at what Arsenal done at the weekend. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. It's just it's a big.
I've got to be honest with you. All joking aside, I would have loved like a Leicester Tottenham final in that. I mean, we're in it now. We've got we've dropped out the Europa League into the conference, which I don't agree with. It was like Man United or whatever dropping out the Champions League into the Europa. If you're out, you're out. I'd love to go on and win it because it would be like, there would be the inaugural winners, and maybe we can, maybe that's our goal for this season. If we can get everybody back. I know Roma are in there still with Jose, but they're not, they're not having a good run at the moment. But
you could beat Roma, Chris. You could beat Roma with your teammate. You can beat Roma.
Well, yeah. And I say when everybody's back, you would hope so. What gets me is like Arsenal saying like, no, we don't want to finish that because we don't want to be in the conference, and Spurs fans were very dismissive of it, and I think that tends to wound me up, and I think it winds a lot of fans up that aren't sort of the big six, if you like, fans, because they're looking at it and saying, well, it's Europe.
Well, as I said, Chris, I mean, I wasn't a big fan on it going this Conference League, this absolute third-tier competition. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it. But beggars can't be choosers, Chris. And that's the thing. I mean, you go into a tournament and you should treat it as any other tournament, really. I mean, and I reckon we'd have a good chance of winning it. I mean, as you said, look at the teams in it, Chris. It's not great, is it? I mean, some of these teams, I've never heard of them. Some of them, never heard of them in my life.
I had to Google Randers. Where the hell are they?
Like Mura. I've never heard of them. And we got beat by them.
They played a small team you've never heard of from North London. I don't know that small team is. Arsenal, Tottenham, something like that. But yes, I agree. But I mean, if I said to you now, I will give you 7th, guaranteed, which will give you conference football, or you might finish 8th or 9th. Say Arsenal have said we'll take 8th or 9th. We don't want it. But would you They want to be in Europe in whatever form it is.
Yeah, as I said to you, beggars can't be choosers. But to me personally, if I had the choice, no, I wouldn't want to be in that tournament, Chris. Me personally, I would want to go back to hopefully finish in the top 4. That's where we want to be. That's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle of attracting top players, Chris, and that's where Spurs want to be.
But if you can't do that, would you not want to at least have, so at least we're in Europe, and yes, it is the 3rd tier. And I know, we're Leicester, and I think Europe is Europe, you know what I mean? And it's, like you say, agree, beggars can't be choosers. But
I just think, Chris, I don't think we've got a big enough squad. I know it sounds crazy. I don't think we have a big enough squad to go into that comms, because we weren't treating it rightly. You know what I mean? And if you're not going to treat it rightly, I say to myself, what's the worth being in it if you're not going to treat it rightly, me personally. So at this present moment, if you can say, would you want to be back in that? No, I'd rather be in the position now. Chasing that top 4. Because, Chris, at the end of the day, it's touching distance. We know we're there. All we got to do now is hopefully now go on a massive run again. We're beating on 10 unbeaten with Conte. Let's go on another 10 games. It can be done. You know what I mean? We've got the games in hand. And if you give me a choice to go back in that competition or finish in the top 4, I'll snatch your hand with the top 4.
Of course. And I get that.
Because what Conte and Paratici wants for the summer, the players they want Champions League football, these players. And if we're not in Champions League football, so that's the pinnacle. I think that's the aim for Conte, to get Tottenham back into the top 4 this season.
The good thing is, no matter how bad I feel about last night and the result, I can never
Big up, Dan. Turf last year.
Yeah, I can never feel as bad as Dan is feeling.
Dan, are you still Man United fan with your pajamas? Yes, Club 7 CD.
This Dan gets a special welcome.
Pissing in the corner. What's all that about?
Have you seen the video?
Oh, it's classic. It's a classic.
do go. Dropped his phone and he flopped his bits out. Classic, Dan.
It's a classic.
I was up till 6 o'clock this morning putting that video together. I love you know. But I do think
how
it was
quick
worth
did your
it.
emotions change in that game yesterday, Simon?
Yeah, it's a fair question, actually.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Dan, seriously, I was watching it, and my boys were watching it with me, and I was saying to her, it's over. Seriously, I was shaking my head. I couldn't believe what I was watching. To me, we deserve at least a draw. Me personally, I mean, do you know what? If that was the only goal, getting the 2-2, I'd have been happy with that. A draw, I think, would be a fair result. But when we went back right up the other end and get the winner, oh my God, everything went, Jesus Christ, absolutely. I couldn't believe it.
That was up there for us with the Watford semi-final playoff game when we missed the penalty and Deeney went up the other end and scored. So we get used to it. Dan says here, Spurs, all his memories are bad ones, you know. Spurs did to Leicester what they did to Burnley in the Carling Cup in 2008. Last minute and killed us off. Gerard Pavlyuchenko. You won't let it go, will you, Dan? 2008, you just won't let it go. Like I say, Dan, just for you. It does like a burp, does Dan. Charlie says here, diving and pushing another player with 2 yellow card offences, so Bergwijn should have been sent off.
Diving? Come on, Charlie. Come on. Diving. Okay, every player dives, but he wasn't really looking for it. He had his hands up. It was Sononchu who's actually gone to him, you know what I mean? Trying to wind him up, and it was a reaction. That's all it was. And
you know,
and fair play to the referee. I know squirms are booking him. He shouldn't be touching the player. So
yeah, I just think it's I don't know. It's just if they'd been the other end and one of our players did it and got a penalty, we'd be going, well done, mate, well done. Leicester in Europe is the only thing I watch PT Sport for. Yeah, they've not got an awful lot else, have they? Get yourself a Fire Stick. It's a lot cheaper, mate. It's a lot cheaper in this season.
Hello, Chris. You went. You stopped.
Oh, did I? Sorry. Yeah. What can you see Leicester doing this season now?
Oh, sorry, Chris. Chris, what I saw last night, mate, was absolutely fantastic. Seriously, with the amount of players you had out, and with the lineup. When I saw the lineup, I thought, wow, what a depth you got there. You got better. Seriously, the strength and depth has got better at Leicester. If you had told me like 2 seasons beforehand that you got 10 players missing, like key players,
yeah,
you'll have been in trouble. You know what I mean? But to me, Chris, that's one thing I'm surprised in you. Really got good strength and depth, got good players. When you get everyone back, Chris, you got your first 11 out there, mate. You are a danger to any team. And I'll tell you, I've always said this about Leicester. They're playing some real good football under Rodgers. And Rodgers are getting a lot of flack at the minute. But I do like Rodgers as a manager. I think he can do still good things for Leicester. Me personally, Chris. And I think a top 6 is not out of your reach. I mean,
well, it isn't. Like I said, we've still got half the season to go game-wise.
Half the season. And
I don't think you can't. I think whichever way it had gone last night, if we'd done the same to you, you can't blame the manager for that. That is just Sunday defending.
You know what? I was watching different channels last night. I was flicking both back and forth, and all I saw is Rodgers bottled it again. What a bottled manager! How can you blame Brendan Rodgers for that? You cannot put that on the manager. No. He done absolutely right up to that equaliser, right? He got everything spot on, tactical wise, substitution wise. He got everything spot on. So it was a very, very mad 2 minutes from defending and from Tielemans giving the ball away. You know what I mean? It's just crazy 2 minutes. I mean,
I'd actually come in from because I haven't got. I have a Fire Stick, so I have to watch it on one telly, which is in the lounge. And I came in here because I hate the last few minutes of any game because in case we do that again. So I came in here and I was putting the final score up as 2-1 to us, and I couldn't believe it. And I came back and changed it to 2-2, and then I could hear the cheer as I was typing. And I thought, oh no! But and in fairness, none of the players went for it. I mean, all our predictions here. I nearly got 3 points. Look. You even stopped me getting 3 points on the prediction league, Simon. I'd gone for 2-1.
Close. As I said, how close was you? That would have been absolutely spot on.
The 2-1, I was like, yes. More excited about me getting 3 points in the ex-Players Football League than I was.
Ian Marshall, brilliant. He was fantastic. And Jerry Taggart as well.
Indeed.
Walshy as well.
None of us got it right, but there we go. Simon, it's been painful. I'm not going to lie, but it's football.
Yeah, of course it is, Chris. Absolutely, of course it is. It's football at the end of the day, mate. It was a madness 2 minutes. That's all it was, Chris. Madness. I think over the balance of play in that game, mate, I think the first half, Tottenham really, really went at you, dominated it. And the second half, you come out better. You reacted. You got that second goal. And everything was rosy for you. I mean, going well. It was just a crazy 2 minutes, and that's football, Chris, and that's football, and it can happen to anyone.
Yeah. Oh, it is, and like I say, I'm almost resigned to losing to you. It was just the way. And if it was a draw, I've got to be honest with you, I'd be saying now, probably that would have been fine because you say you dominated that first half so much, but no. Go and finish higher than Arsenal. I do hope you do that. I quite like you again now. I've got over that. And thank you so much for coming on.
Not a problem, Chris. Anytime, pal.
And we'll see each other later. Is it April or something when we play each other? No doubt we'll do something then as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, Chris. Not a problem, pal. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on, matey.
And cheers, thanks Chris. For coming. Oh, I was going to say thanks for coming on. You probably couldn't wait. Take care, mate. Stay safe. Thanks very much.
Nice one, Chris. Cheers. Nice one, pal.
Oh, before you go, so just give a shout out to your channel again. Told you I'd forget.
yeah, guys. If you want to come over to me and Matt over at Premier Hotspur TV, yes, so more than welcome. Doing Matt previews, transfer updates, fans call-ins, so things like that, and anything else. We do quizzes every now and then and things like that. But make sure you get over to Chris and Leicester Till I Die. Absolutely fantastic channel.
Cheers, mate.
And does
if you do go over to Premier Hotspur TV, make sure you just say in the comments, how's your trophy cabinet? Because that's all I ever do. I pop in, ask how the trophy cabinet is, and leave.
All the time, Chris, don't you?
Take care, mate. Stay safe. And we'll speak later on.
Pal. Thanks,
cheers, bud. Bye-bye. Thanks to Simon there. He is a great lad. The fact that he's a Tottenham fan. What a game. I mean, like I say, I can't remember. We seem to sort of always get the bad end of the rub against Tottenham, don't we? But, you know, it was the way. It was the way. If it had gone in 4-0 at half-time, which it could have easily been, because they were battering. They had 27 shots to our 14. They could have gone in at 3-4-0 up. And if we'd lost that way, I think I would have taken it more. I would have taken it easier. It was just the way that we lost it. But this is Leicester. This is what you get when you support Leicester. The old roller coaster ride. But in fairness, 19 games we've played. That means there's 19 games left. And thinking, that's half the season, obviously. You know, I've worked that out. But it's half the season. So season's not over by a long chalk. We've still got Europe as well. James Justin's back. Fonfana's training more and more. Let's, please, somebody might come in and offer us money for Perez and Vestergaard. No. So hell will freeze over first, I think. But there we go. Guys, I'm going to go. I will be back at 9 o'clock. Yes, sloppy seconds. And we have got the quiz, the big fat football quiz. And we're going to be talking to Rich from Eagle something football. I can't remember. He's on. He's from there, and he's a Crystal Palace fan. So we're all going to go and do that to him. And he's going to see how he does in the quiz. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Stay safe. We will see you at 9 o'clock. Good night.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
That's all, folks.
Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over. It is now.